What's going on, guys? ChillisFM here, and Chansey is without a doubt the best closer in the Little Jungle Cup. And I'm not just making that up. I have proof. Let's head on over to PvPoke to take a look. So immediately we can go to the rankings page and look at the Little Jungle Cup closers, and there it is. Chansey is number 1 on the list with a score of 100, but I know sometimes these rankings don't take everything into consideration, so let's look at some of these actual matchups. So I wanted to look at Chansey versus the Jungle Cup meta in the 2-shield scenario first. So this is if Chansey has 2 shields and everybody else has 2 shields, and the win rate is just not that great. So that's going to be representative of if Chansey was the lead or even this safe swap. Normally there's going to be 2 shields that can be used. Alright, so let's look at some other scenarios to see if this can improve. So looking at the 1 shield next, do we see an improvement? Yes, we do. We already are seeing more wins, up to 11 wins and 13 losses. So still more losses than wins, but looking better. All right, so let's go ahead and take it one step further. How does this play out in the no shield scenario, which a lot of times in the closing position, you can force these no shield scenarios. Hit battle, look at this, up in the 70%. 19 wins and 5 losses. There's only 5 things that you need to cover for if you can force this no shield scenario. And what are those 5 things? Obstagoon, Onyx, Skarmory, Scrafty, and Galarian Stunfisk. So we have 2 fighters and 3 steel types. I'm not really worried about these fighters because they are dark type fighting Pokemon, and they're just going to get destroyed by the Charmers. So that's the reason you haven't seen very many Obstagoons or Scrafties out there. They're just not that viable in the current meta, in my opinion. So you can see some other fighters on down the list. Toxicroak and, Vigoroth. We're going to beat those in the no shield, so we don't have to worry about those. If we can learn out the steel types, we're going to have a great time. Let's go ahead and jump into some of these games to see how it actually played out. So in this first one, I'm up against a Marshtomp Lead. It's not great for my Diggersby, so I swap into my Skorupi, and I thought that this thing was just a straight water type, so I go for the poison move, and yeah, that was the wrong move. Should have gone for the Aqua Tail, but it's fine. They're going to bring out their own Skorupi, and I can go for the Aqua Tail against theirs. They did win CMP there, but I'm hoping that it's going to be a coin flip and that I can win CMP going forward. We'll see how this plays out. Going for the next Aqua Tail, and they win CMP again. So they definitely have a higher attack stat than I do. I guess it's not really surprising. This is a rank 3 Skorupi for this cup, so yeah, pretty low attack on it. Going for the Aqua Tail does some nice chip damage, and I'm going to be going for the next one, of course, CMP tie again. They win it. I'm not going to shield this. I don't think it'll KO my Skorupi. It does not, and so I'll be able to get off my own to get them pretty low, but not KO them as well. I'm going to be swapping into my Diggersby to try to farm down, able to farm down before they get to another Aqua Tail. That's very nice, and they're going to come back out with their Marshtomp. So I have Hyper Beam on my Diggersby, going to be building up and going for that. Oh man, they land that Surf, and that definitely hurts. I'm going for the Hyper Beam against the opponent's Chansey. I figured since they swapped, they probably did not want to shield. Like otherwise, you could have just stayed in there and tried to guess if I was going to go for the Earthquake or not. So I land the Hyper Beam, very nice, going for the Fire Punch now, and unfortunately I have not forced the no shield scenario here. However, I'm in a 2-shield scenario with another Chansey, so it's like, this is fine since I have such a big health advantage right now. They're going to throw the Psychic because I have 2 shields and they thought that I would shield it. Not going to shield that. I'm going to be building up for the Hyper Beam and going for the Psychic bait here. Since they have 2 shields and they have 2 pretty low health Pokemon, I'm definitely expecting the shield from them, and we get the shield. That's beautiful. I'm not going to be shielding anything from the opposing Chansey, by the way. I think that the Surfs from the Marshtomp are going to be doing a lot more than a Psychic, especially. Maybe a Hyper Beam would do more from the Chansey, but this is going to be a guaranteed Surf, so much better use of my shield here. Shielding up the Surf, going to be going for the Psychic. Again, this will be enough to take out the Marshtomp if they decide to no shield, but of course they are going to use their shield. And now I'm going for the catch, and we catch the next Surf on our Skorupi. You love to see it. Now I am in a great position because I'm going to be able to actually pound this Marshtomp down all the way after shielding the next Surf, and I will be close to the Hyper Beam to try to take out their Chansey. Sorry, I was just laughing because I just saw that the timer came up. I didn't notice it at first, and I went for the Hyper Beam, and then I noticed it at the last second. I clicked on my own Psychic, and it was a CMP tie, and thank goodness I did, because if I didn't and I had lower health than them, then they would have just won that. So luckily I win because it was CMP tie, and I was able to get them lower than I was. All right, Diggersby into Ducklett. Not a great lead. Going to be swapping out into my Skorupi. This is not great for Skorupi, but a lot of these Duckletts are going to be running Bubble Beam, and every Ducklett is just addicted to Bubble Beaming. They never go for the Brave Bird first, so I'm not going to shield whatever they throw first, and I should be able to get a shield back from them if they decide to stay in this matchup. So yep, there's the Bubble Beam. They're going to be coming in now with their own Skorupi, and it was a nice catch. I did throw the Cross Poison, but boom, we get the boost. So it's just like kind of laughing in that Ducklett's face like, you think you can debuff me? Yeah, right. I'm going to boost myself up past where you debuff me from. So anyways, they're going to be throwing their own Cross Poison. They were expecting a shield by me, not going to be shielding that, but since they let me get to the next Aqua Tail, I am going to shield now, because again, we're trying to force these no shield scenarios in the back so that my Chansey can really just go off. So there's the shield going to be coming in now with my Diggersby. They're going to be swapping back into their Ducklett, but I have a Hyper Beam almost ready to go. Unfortunately, here's the Bubble Beam. Yeah, like, so annoying, so annoying. Anyways, going for the Hyper Beam here. Do they know about the beam? They do not, and it takes out the Ducklett. Going to be coming in with Cottonee now, and I can build up to back-to-back Fire Punches. Now, I was trying to align our fast moves so they didn't get an extra Charm in, but it just wasn't lining up. There was a desync, and unfortunately that means they snuck a Charm in, not able to get the next Fire Punch off. But I can come in now with my Skorupi, do double super effective damage with my Poison type moves, and I can just shoot up the Seed Bomb. Now, I anticipated the swap there, so great awareness by me, I guess. Like, I don't know, it feels weird to compliment myself like that. Anyways, going to no shield whatever this Skorupi throws, because of Cross Poisons aren't going to do anything. Aqua Tails are going to do absolutely nothing. I can just farm all the way down, and all they have left now is the Cottonee, and I guess it didn't have any shields anyways. I can build up to the Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam should be enough to take out this Cottonee, assuming that I can survive whatever they throw here. It's just the Grass Knot. I mean, I guess Grass Knot's probably their best move, but doesn't do anything to Chansey. Chansey is honestly too bulky, like, it's ridiculous. Able to take out the Cottonee. Yeah, like that, the Hyper Beam damage is pretty disgusting too, considering how bulky Chansey is. Like, that's a lot of damage. Alright, moving into the next one, up against a Sableye Lead. That's a great lead for my Diggersby, because I am double resisting all the fast moves, since Shadow Claw is a ghost type fast move, and I'm just taking neutral from foul play, so I can definitely outpace them with these Fire Punches, and you can see the Fire Punch puts them below half health. Here's the next Fire Punch. We'll see if they want to throw up a shield here, or if they're going to let their Sableye go. They're going to go ahead and throw up a shield. That means I can just match shields, and again, I'm going to be able to outpace them to the Fire Punch. The Mudshot Fire Punch combination is just incredibly spammy. I anticipated the catch, and here is the Ducklett. So now I'm going for the Hyper Beam. Either we get the second shield off, or we do massive damage, and boom, it nearly one-shots the Ducklett. I can come in now with my Chansey and just fast move all the way down. Now they're throwing an Aerial Ace right here. Yeah, like, build up to the Brave Bird at least, because no Chansey is going to be shielding the Brave Bird, knowing how bulky Chansey is. Like, I hate using shields on my Chansey. I basically never shield my Chansey. Occasionally you have to, but it's going to be pretty rare. So going for the Hyper Beam now, up against this Cottonee. It lands. Like, goodness gracious, that damage is disgusting, right? Like, I don't know. I'm impressed by it. They're going to hit me with the Grass Knot. I survive it. I'm almost able to just farm them down with Chansey, but I can come in now with Skorupi, and one Poison Sting takes them out. They realize that there's no chance, and they back out. That's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. Moving into the next one, Diggersby up against a Ducklett Lead. So if we can land the beam, it's not too bad of a matchup, but we are going to be swapping out into our Skorupi, and they're going to be catching the poison, Cross Poison onto a Stun Fist. So that's actually not the worst thing, because two Aqua Tails don't KO anyways. You need just a little bit more damage. So even though it's like triple resisted, it helps. So I can go for the Aqua Tail now. I survived the Rock Slide, and they can't Mudshot me down without me getting to another Aqua Tail. So they do have to still throw up a shield right here if they want to keep this Stun Fist alive. Let's see, do they want to? Yes, they do. Of course. I can come in now with my Diggersby, and I'm going to just commit to the hard farm down. I'm expecting them to go straight for the Earthquake, knowing that I'm close to a Fire Punch. Just a Rock Slide, that's fine. I will have to throw the Fire Punch before they get to the next Earthquake, but they clearly don't have it, because they threw before they were even at enough energy for it. Now I can definitely commit to the farm down, have 100 energy, and I'm expecting Ducklett to come back in, so I am ready to throw this Hyper Beam. Is it going to be the Ducklett? Of course it's the Ducklett. Let's beam this Ducklett. Yes. Oh my god, so satisfying. Like, Ducklett's so annoying, and we just beam it. Boom. Alright, so they're going to be coming out with their own Skorupi against my Chansey, but they really just have no Chansey in this matchup. Because, okay, by the way, the right play is to go straight cross poison here, hoping to get the boost, because otherwise you don't have a chance of winning this. But if they got the boost, maybe they would have a chance. So they throw Aqua Tail the second time. It's not the play. It's just not the play. I can go for the Psychic. That would hit for super effective. They do have to shield it up. I get the defense drop. I don't think I really needed it, but we'll take it. And they're going to be starting to spam out the cross poisons now. I think they're expecting me to shield, or maybe they are actually fishing for the boost here. Either way, I'm just going to be eating all of those. Coming in now with my Diggersby, throwing this Fire Punch into Ducklett. This will be enough to take out the Ducklett. Now I have two healthy, very bulky Pokemon to deal with this Skorupi. They know they have no chance, and they back out, and that's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. I don't know if y'all have noticed the trend, but everybody just backs out against this team. It's kind of amazing. Alright, into the next one, up against an Altaria Lead, going to be coming in with Skorupi, going for the cross poison. Now I was expecting a catch, so I did overfarm this time. I mean, so many people have been catching my poison type moves onto their steel types, so I was a little bit more cautious this time. So going to go for the next cross poison now. This actually is not a bad matchup for Skorupi, despite the fact that they're a flyer and I'm a bug, because we just straight up outpace them. So there's the next cross poison. Going to overfarm on this one because I'm expecting the catch again. And somehow they still catch. Like, what? I overfarmed. Whatever. It's fine. They catch on their Nidoran. I can go for the Aqua Tail next. This will be doing some nice neutral damage, putting them into the yellow, I believe, if they no shield. Yes, into the yellow. And now I'm coming with my Diggersby. They can only throw Body Slam against my Diggersby because the Poison Fangs will be resisted, and their Poison Stings, the fast move, is resisted as well. So the Body Slams, I mean, they chip away, but it's not too threatening. So I'm going to be committing to the farm down now. Can I get there before they get to a third Body Slam? Yes, I can. Got the beam ready to go. Time to beam the Altaria. Do they know about the beam? Yeah, nobody knows about the beam. Nobody expects the beam. Like, it's actually so busted. I should have just done a Diggersby feature with beam instead, but I really wanted to show that analysis of Chansey, so that's why the video ended up being about Chansey instead. They have Skorupi in the back. Even the Fire Punch plus the Mud Shots is doing enough to put them low enough that they don't have a chance of winning this, and they finally back out now. They did lag, and I tried to wait on them for a little bit, but yeah, I mean, there was no coming back from that one. Into the next one, up against a Cottonee Lead. I do have Fire Punch, which hits for super effective. However, Cottonee actually wins this just because Cottonee is a pretty busted Pokemon. It's fine though. I'm going to go for the Fire Punch here, and then I'm going to actually be swapping into my Skorupi to scare them off, hopefully lure out the Steel type, which I do. I lure out the Galarian Stunfisk. This is going to be hitting for super effective, the Aqua Tail is, but as we know, 2 Aqua Tails does not KO this Galarian Stunfisk. So we'll see if they want to give up a shield. They don't have to. Yeah, so they know that and they don't, so that's fine. They're not going to be able to one-shot me with the Rock Slide, so I should still be able to make it to a third move, but they actually throw Muddy Water, and then I over-tap, which is super frustrating. So now I don't get the shield from them, and I'm just going to go down. But whatever, I can farm down with Diggersby, and we'll see what they want to do next. What are they going to be coming in with? They're going to come back in with their Cottonee. I do have a Fire Punch ready to go. I'm going to be watching for the catch after I shield up this Seed Bomb, and they did swap out into their own Chansey. So I'm actually going to bait here, knowing that Cottonee's already kind of low health, thinking that they might give up a shield, and they do. So now I'm going to go for the Hyper Beam. We'll see if they want to shield twice, or if they're going to eat this Hyper Beam. What are they going to do? They're going to go ahead and give up their second shield. So now we have created that no shield scenario. I mean, technically I do have a shield, but basically no shield scenario. They're going to be throwing a Psychic into my Chansey. I can go straight Hyper Beam. I don't have to worry about baiting whatsoever, and Hyper Beam is just much more energy efficient than Psychic. It does get that same type of attack bonus to help out, and it's a higher energy move in general. So going for the Hyper Beam here, this will do some nice chip damage. I mean, the Chansey versus Chansey matchup is about as exciting as watching paint dry, but we're going to muddle through this, right? We're going to get through this. They go for their own Hyper Beam, and then they swap into Cottonee. So I just got to get to the Psychic to be able to KO this Cottonee. Can I make it there? No, they actually get to their own move, but if this is Seed Bomb is such a bad move, and Chansey is just so bulky, we still make it to the Psychic. This will KO the Cottonee, and then I can swap into my own Diggersby, go for the Hybrid Beam against this Chansey. Since they are in the yellow, I was like, this is going to KO, that's game over. But no, Chansey is just too broken. Still going to be able to outpace them, get to the Fire Punch. They know it's over. They top left. That's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. Alright guys, so I really do think Chansey's probably the most broken closer in this cup, especially if you can create those no shield scenarios. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think I was just getting lucky with the back matchups, or do you think it's actually just this busted? Let me know what you think. That's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, this is ChillisFM reminding you to always keep pushing forward.